I remember I just looked at her and I said, Sharon, aren't you afraid? And she paused and she said, yes, I am afraid, but I have Jesus. I know, I know that Jesus is in control of all of these things in my life. And I cannot let fear keep me from living my life. And I just started to tear up because I was carrying all of this anxiety. I didn't know what to do with it. And here she was looking so firm. She had this foundation. And the next thing that happened was the most important part. Because we had this relationship already, because she had already established for me that she was someone that could be trusted, and with no agenda, she just asked, Cara, can I pray with you? And in that moment, I thought, I can forget all those bullies on the bus. That's not what this is anymore. This is something different. This is something that's provoking me. I feel pursued. And I looked at her and I said, yes. And right there in that empty hallway with nobody there, she grabbed my hands and she bowed her head. So I did too. And then she just talked to Jesus like he was her best friend. And everything disappeared from the hallway. I felt like I could have stayed there forever. And I felt it from the top of my head to the bottom of my toes. And I wanted to stay there forever. And she finally said, amen. And we opened up our eyes and we were both crying. And I just looked at her and I said, what was that? And she said, oh, honey, that was Jesus. And Kelly, it set off a series of what I can only describe as more miracles of God now pursuing me to reintroduce himself as not just Adonai, but also to show me who Jesus was as this completed, beautiful story that could take me out of fear and out of anxiety into a place of hope and promise and beauty that set off this holy ripple effect that changed not just the course of my life, my family's life, my Muslim neighbor friend who walked this journey with me ended up coming to Christ as a result.